Hello, good afternoon everybody. Thank you for coming to join me. I'd like to share with you a journal that I've made for a private swap with Karen. Karen is Bohemian Rhapsody, and I will put a link to her channel below for you. We agreed a swap a little while ago, and we've just got round to doing it. The theme, Karen's decided to make some journals based on favourite books. And so I asked her to give me a list of her favourites and said that I would base mine on one of her books. And I asked her to make me a journal based on her favourite books as well, so that it would be a surprise for me. Some of the books on Karen's list was Jane Eyre and Wuthering Heights. And I had this book, and this book was The Life of Charlotte Bronte. It's a small hardback book. It measures about just over 4.5 by just over 7.5. And when I saw Karen's list of her favourites, I knew that I just had to use this book cover. So it is, and I didn't want to take the spine off it because I just thought it was perfect for what I wanted to do. So I hope that's okay, Karen, that I've used it. It's a smaller journal, but it has got quite a lot in it. So on the cover it's just closed with some ribbon, and this was the cover of the book, a paper cover, so I've just cut that image out and put it on the front, and some ruffle there, and then at the bottom there's a little dangle there that's got success. I think it says success. Oh, sorry, imagine and sincere in it, and there's a key as well. And there's a picture there of Charlotte Bronte, and it says The Life of Charlotte Bronte. So there are 3 signatures in this, and there's around 108 pages front and back. So it is quite chunky, but I just managed to fit everything in that I wanted to put in it. So on the inside, there's a mix of papers that I've used. Most of the images are Mrs Cogs Wuthering Heights set, but it is a mix of kind of Jane Eyre Wuthering Heights. So it is quite, they're both quite dark stories, so I wanted it to be quite grungy. I've left the front cover plain because it was getting rather chunky, and I didn't want to put too much strain on the spine, but if Karen wants to add something there, then she could do. So on the first page that we turn there, there's an image there of Charlotte Bronte, and I had a book of Wuthering Heights ages ago, and I'd saved a couple of the plates out of it, and that's one of the plates, and I think that's when, no, sorry, that's from Jane Eyre, when she finds the wife that was being locked away, I think, but it's quite a startling picture, so a bit scary. Couple of book pages here. This is out of this is a Jane Eyre page, and then I've used a stamp there with pen nibs because obviously it was about a novel that was written, and little fabric and lace just snips there, and then some tissue paper on the edge there, and then this is a page from Wuthering Heights. And then one of the images there from Mrs Cogs Wuthering Heights set. And I've put little torn out little pieces of paper that come from those stories, so Wuthering Heights and Jane Eyre, and I've used those throughout as well. And these papers, I thought they were quite washed out, because I think the farmhouse in Wuthering Heights was quite a dark place. So I didn't want to use bright papers. A paper bag here. And again, this is an image that I had from an old book. I think that again is Wuthering Heights. And it said he was at her side and had her grasped in his arms. So I just made that into a tag there in that bag. Again, the Wuthering Heights page just there. Some more book page. And then the centre of the first signature, little journaling card, and that image there, as I say, from another Wuthering Heights image there. This paper reminded me of kind of the moors, the moorlands, and different greens and mosses that might grow. And again, nice and faded. There's a little image there from one of the kits. I can't remember if that, I think that might be from the Jane Eyre set. A little ink splatter just there. This page is, I've put a stamp of a bottle of ink there, and then that just flips out for some extra journaling space. And some more Jane Eyre just there, and there's just a tuck spot here. I think that's a picture of Charlotte Bronte. So I kind of tried to keep it, these papers are, I think the Jane Eyre papers, I think it was Amy Joy Studios for those. So I tried to do a mix of the two stories. And then there's a flip there. So that flips up, and again another bottle of ink stamped, and then that's some extra journaling space there. Another book page. And then a pen quill, I think they're called, are they quills? And then again that just opens out. I do like the faded, it looks like worn wallpaper to me, old wallpaper. A little lace tuck just there. A little journaling spot. And some lace on there. And some more fabric. I tried to pick darker fabrics, kind of in keeping with the times as well. So in the middle of this signature, it's a little file folder that I had, and it has lots of books on it. History's Greatest Women, Fairy Tales, My Greatest Adventures. And in the middle, it's like a list. I don't know if you can see that. It's a bit dull here in England today. But it's a list, and I thought Karen could use that to list the books, her favourite books that she'd like to read in there. That's Life, Love and the Pursuit of Happiness, How to Act Like a Lady, My Wit's End, and Mistakes, Mishaps and Misunderstandings. And I just thought that was nice to put in the middle there for Karen to use. This paper, I tea-dyed it with some plastic doily, and I'd already used the plastic doily earlier with some paint on, and it's kind of left it's slightly raised, which I thought added a little bit of texture to it. Another little snip just there. And again, one of Mrs Cogs' images there. Another little snip up there. And then that's a tuck spot in there. And I think this might be a Jane Eyre image that goes with the paper set from Amy Joy Studios, I think. And that says, I ask you to pass through life at my side, to be my second self and best earthly companion. And that's from Jane Eyre, I think. And then the last signature here, there's a tuck spot there, and that's a Jane Eyre page. And again, these papers that I used, I just thought that they brought out the darkness of the stories. And lace on there, and a little snip. And then I think that's a picture of Charlotte Bronte with her sisters. And there's a journaling card just there. More ink splatters just there. And I've used images of some flowers throughout because of the moorlands and things. And I know you don't get these flowers on the moors, but I just wanted it to have a bit of a natural feel, a nature kind of feel to it as well. And then this is a window envelope that I've used to put that image in there. That's the centre of the last signature, that bit. And then there's I had a couple of pages left over from this book, The Life of Charlotte Bronte, and that's personal characteristics, and that's of her. So I've included that page. Another journaling card then with Charlotte Bronte and her sisters on. I actually took a visit last year up to Haworth and went round the vicarage. Loved it, absolutely loved it. My husband went for a coffee while I had with the dog. We went in the cafe somewhere for a drink while I had a wander around, and it was so nice to go. I'd wanted to go for a long time. And then again the pen stamp and a little turnout. There's a little bird on that. And then the last page, again, it's the image there. It's that little window envelope. And then that says, flirting is a woman's trade, one must keep in practice. And then I've left the back plain again because, as I say, it was getting quite chunky and I just didn't want to put too much strain on the spine. So that's my journal for my swap with Karen. I do hope Karen likes it when she sees it. And it's going off in the post to her today. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and I do hope you'll call back. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.